Crystal, I turn it over to you for a minute.
Sure thing. I am a huge advocate of the mega parties. Oh my gosh, they are amazing. They are game changers. I know I've talked a little bit about it in brief with some of the Sparling and Making Waves directors, but I just cannot tell y'all enough how a game changer this is. I'll brag on Karen Kress. She actually messaged me this morning and she told me, oh my gosh, thank you so much for sharing this because I am loving it. So if you're like me, you find out new information, it sounds intriguing, it sounds exciting, but then you're like, holy geez, Batman, now what do I have to change? And just the thought of it can kind of keep you from trying it because you're overwhelmed at changing your system. And we are like, set in stone. We like our systems. Don't make me change because I got too much on my plate as it is. So the good thing about this change is you're not having to do a whole lot of changing, learning something new. It's basically taking the exact same things that you're doing in separate groups and just combining it into one. So to kind of explain, I know the first question I get is, how do you get your host on board? Well, one, I don't make a big deal about it. I don't even talk about, oh, this is a change that we're going to be doing. I just say, hey guys, we're going to be partying together this week in a group mega party, and it's going to be so much fun. And so I focus, as usual, just like we do, we focus on the fun part of it. And I just tell them how it's going to run. I don't say, hey, are you okay with this? Because that gives them the opportunity to say no. And so I don't want to hear no. I just want you to go along with what is working, even though it might be different for you. So when I start my group host coaching messenger chat, then I just kind of start with that message of, you're all in here together and we're going to have a party all together. So occasionally somebody won't read it, they won't understand, and they're like, Crystal, why does it not say Amy's Pampered Chef Party at the top of the page? I can't find it. And so then I go to a private message and I just explain it to them. I usually do a voice clip because that's easier to get a lot of words in a short amount of time. But once they understand, everybody's loving it. They're getting recipe ideas from other people. They're enjoying getting to hear what other customers from other parties are having to say about products. They're loving the engagement, and it really is helping each host have a more successful party. Because if you think about it, you've got one host and she's got 20 people in there, maybe 10 are participating if you're lucky. That's not nearly as much fun as last week. We had 125, 140, and the comments were just coming constantly. And so it's a lot more active, it's more fun, and of course with Facebook algorithms, it keeps it in front of people more often, which is also part of my explanation. If somebody's like, because I did have a host who's hosted with me several times, she's like, Crystal, I don't like it. Can I have a party of my own? And I said, actually, Donna, no, you can't have a party of your own, because with recent Facebook changes, this is the new way that we have to play within the rules. And so I'll tell you the truth, it may be different, but you're going to love it. This is how it's a benefit to you. Other guest engagement, other host engagement is going to help your party be more successful. So once I told her the reasons why behind it, since she has been a past host, she was like, oh, okay, I'll go and invite more people. Like literally, easy peasy. She was totally fine with it. But if somebody questions you, don't cave. Don't cave. Just say, no, I can't change it because this is the new way to play within the parameters and work on Facebook. And they've all understood. So some ways that I share the links, of course, it's in the description. So anywhere where you would have put Lori's Pampered Chef Party, I would say now, Donna, Amy, Lori, and Cindy are all having a group Pampered Chef Party this week. When you would list the link, Donna's party link, here's the link. Amy's party link, here's the link. Lori's party link, here's the link. So everything is separated out. So I would never list one link by itself. They're all done together the few times that I do it, because that's another no-no, is Facebook really does not like you sharing those links. And so you'll only find them on my party maybe 4 times. The rest of the times, the host is doing the follow-up and sending it individually. So it's in my description. It's in my initial posts that are in the party before people are invited. So if you have those people that just want to show up, order, and never come back again, they can see it. And then I also put it in the banner picture comments. And I think I originally got this from, there's Elena. I think I originally got that from Miss Elena. And so the picture, when you look at it, it says click to order here. It's not a super fancy picture that when you click, it automatically takes you to a link. It just clicks on the banner picture so that you can see the comments for the banner. And each comment has an individual link. Because if you put them in all in one post, it'll only populate one link. So we don't want to confuse people. So each link needs to be a different comment. So hopefully that makes sense on that. And of course, if y'all have questions, just ask. But I found that that's really helpful. And at the end of the day, let's be honest, I could have it in 500 places and there's still people who can't find the link and are asking me, I can't find it. Where on earth did you put it? Well, it's like hide and seek, so good luck. So this is, I feel, just as effective as when we had it in every single post. And we are playing along with the rules and hopefully keeping the motherboard happy by doing some things. So let's see, the other things that I'm doing, I used to send every single host the same picture and they would put it in their different groups because they were different groups so they could have the same picture. Now they cannot have the same picture. So every day, Donna's getting one interactive picture, Amy's getting one, Lori's getting one, Cindy's getting one. And so I try and do, you know, like maybe Donna got recipes and maybe Amy got something about hosting and Lori and Cindy got a fun, if you could eat one food for the rest of your life, calorie free type post. So a couple of fun ones and then, you know, trying to spread out the wealth of what's coming out, but I took all of that type stuff out of my outline and I'm doing on average about 6 to 8 posts tops a day. Everything comes out from my business page. Real Me doesn't get to really come out and play at all. And so business page, whether it's posting, it's scheduling to post on Facebook or commenting. Really, I mean, I prefer to comment as me, but just have to stay in the corner and let the business page do most of the commenting. And that's seeming to help out in some of those areas. And then of course you can message with your business page and people get those messages automatically because it's a business versus them going to your other inbox when you message as your profile. So there is a bonus to it. It's taking me some adjusting to be sure I go check my business page messenger area because I'm not used to that. So that is taking a little bit of an adjustment, but it's working out pretty well. I personally still post the game every day. I haven't given that to a host. I still do that each day. And let's see. I think off the top of my head, that was a lot of it. Amy, yeah.
Okay, I got a couple questions, Crystal. Surprise, surprise. How many hosts, like what's your max number of hosts you'll put in a mega party?
I think the max I've had is 5. And
Okay.
so the week that I had 7 parties, we ended up doing 4 and 3.
Okay.
And,
another question.
And Cami Cruz actually does the same thing. She does 3 groups of 5 every single week.
Oh, so 5 is nice. Okay. So how are you coaching your hosts to tell them how many people to invite? What do you say to them?
I still am working with them on you want 30 members joined. And I am so pushing the individual invites because I wish they'd just take away the invite button on a group because I think it's pointless, to be honest. So I'm overemphasizing that part of it for the individual invite.
And on average, how many people do you think they're having to invite to get 30 to attend?
You know, honestly, I don't know how many there.
Okay. Yeah, but you're just coaching them to keep adding until they get their magic number.
Going.
Okay.
Yeah, I have it in, I think like my first 3 days of coaching once the party starts, because I give them access on Friday and then we start Monday. So I give them all weekend to add people so they don't feel rushed. And then we start Monday. And so Monday, Tuesday, and I think Wednesday are challenging them to message 25 more people each day.
I've got just a real small question there. Once you add them on Friday, are you doing any pre-party stuff or is it just like a silent group?
It's pretty much a silent group, unless I have major go-getters, because most people are waiting till Saturday night or Sunday to start inviting people. But I have had some that come Saturday, that group is full of people, and I don't want it to just sit there.
Right.
And I have it, so I have to approve people to keep spammers out. So I kind of monitor it, and I'll just throw in random posts over the weekend if they're ready early. Otherwise, it stays quiet till Sunday night when I have a roll call post come out at 8:30.
All right, got another question. When you're working with your hosts, are you still putting them in a group host coaching message and you're saying, Lori, this is your image. Cindy, this is your image.
Okay,
so how are you
sorry,
doing that?
thanks for asking that. So everybody gets the generic host coaching for the day.
Mhm.
Like, here's your generic have a great party. And then Donna gets her own post in her message with me. Amy gets her own. Yeah, because otherwise I think that would be super confusing.
Right.
And so, yes, those are all sent individually.
Okay, thanks.
So my question is a follow-up.
Hold on, Cindy. Christine's got a question first. She had her hand up.
I actually do one on top of Amy's there. So for your host coaching, Crystal, do you just do that through Facebook Messenger, or are you still doing a host group too?
No group. No,
No
I did away with that actually earlier in the year because I
Okay.
found it was one more thing that people weren't getting notifications to. So it's all in Messenger.
Okay.
Okay.
And the question was in regards to the mega party, are you doing the interactive post, whoever gets commenting on that one particular post for the day, they're the people who go into the drawing? And are you doing like separate drawings for each of your hosts for their winners?
Each party gets their own drawing. Yes. So there's a different winner for each party. And then I don't track who does what. Random.org picks me a winner at the end of the party.
Okay. Thank you.
Cindy?
All right, so back to the hosts and getting them to post things in the party. Are you having all 4 or 5 hosts post something every day? So those are an additional 4 to 5 posts going in every day. So they know every day they're going to post something, and you're sending it to them privately. School.
Yeah, there's been days that, of course, you don't have somebody post it. And so, if I have 5 people, at least 3 are getting it out there.
Mhm.
Because I tried last week only giving it to a couple because I wanted to see how it worked. Maybe one day these 2 do it and this day these 2 do it. Oh, I was so irritated because Susie Q forgot on this day and then she forgot on this day and none of my posts were coming out. And I was like, forget it. Everybody gets a post.
So you can count
Do you
on
tell
3.
them what time to post, Crystal?
No.
Okay.
Can I say something?
Yeah, Karen.
Just real quickly, I was like Crystal, I kind of fought the idea because I thought, it's something new, like what she said. But she did a video and I thought, I want to beef up my business. I want more shows per week, and I also want to do cooking shows. So I went ahead and implemented what Crystal started, and it has blown me away doing it this way. I already have 16 parties booked for October. And so that was my goal, was to get those 4 parties a week. And I even throw my new consultants' parties in there with this mega party because I feel like it's great training for them. And also, right now I have 3 hosts, and there's over 85 members in the party. And I did a booking challenge last night. It's the day before the end of the party, and I've already gotten 5 bookings from those 3 hosts. And I do it in a group message because competition always seems to drive people. There are those that don't like competition, but in my opinion, most people like that competition and that kind of egging me on kind of deal. So I just want to say it's been amazing for me, and also it enables me to be able to start having in-home shows on Saturdays, and that was kind of my goal too. I want both, and I couldn't do it running 4 to 6 parties a week individually. It's just too much. So this has kept me out of Facebook jail, and I appreciate Crystal for all of her info. It's been wonderful.
Good.
I'm glad you're enjoying it. And I'm glad that you remembered to bring up about the new consultants, because this is the easiest way to put your new consultants party right in your group, and you're not running a different one. And I actually put my consultant in the host group, in the host chat group.
Yes.
I do let her forward the hosting information to her host so that she can learn the process of forwarding it on. But then I give the consultant a post of the day as well, and she sends it to the host so that they're posting alongside everything. And it's been working really well.
Another thing that I do, I heard it on something, is to let the host post the thank you notes to their guests. Now, some will embrace that, some don't want to, and that's okay, but it's still giving someone else the chance to post in that party instead of me. So I send them their own little image, and that's the image they use throughout the whole party.
Right.
And then Susie gets one image, Julie gets one image, yada yada.
Okay.
Can I
Carolyn,
ask
you
you
had a
about that,
question, then
Karen?
Kim? Carolyn, and then Kim?
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. Carolyn had her hand up before. Carolyn.
Just to kind of clarify when you're doing the games. So on the Count the M&Ms game, you still only have one winner.
Yes.
But when you do the ticket counting, it's each party has its own winner.
Correct.
Okay, I was making sure because I was not figuring out how you were only doing like multiple winners of the M&M game.
Oh, dear Lord. Let's think about that one for 1 second. Carolyn, do you think Crystal would do that?
Yeah, no, I didn't think so, but the way you said it wasn't clear, so that's why I wanted to make sure I heard that right. Yeah, it's just the tickets. And so the way I figured out how to tell which goes with which party was by who invited who. How are you telling which one goes with which party when you're doing the ticket counting?
So a couple of ways that I'm learning who invited whom is I go to the members list and I have my little tracking sheet. And so I'll go through the members list and I'll look at every single member. I'll have my 4 tracking sheets and I'll write down the person's name that goes with each person, each host. And so I have a really good idea. And then if it's one of the games that they have to message me an answer, I'll put in there the parameters. I need you to message me your answer, your name, and who invited you. Because I put my cell phone on there as well. And some people will, say like, hey, I'm Jenny. And whatever the answer is, I'm like, awesome, Jenny, thanks for playing. Can you tell me which host that you're with? And so if they don't tell me, I do ask, but I find out most of it by going to the members list and the roll call, because the roll call, they tell you who invited them.
And you said you put your phone number in there so they can text the answer to you or message it to you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I like them to text me because then it comes to real me and not business me, and I'm more likely to see it fast.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, Crystal.
Sure, Kim.
I was going to ask you about the posts that you send your hosts. I get the engagement posts, but did you say you also send them booking and recruiting posts to post for you?
Yeah, you've heard before fun facts, or we have the apron post. I'll just randomly pick something about hosting. We have all of those top 10 reasons to host a party. So I'll send one of those to them with wording about booking a party and how easy Crystal's made it.
So
that there's something coming out.
Because what if there's one of the hosts who didn't post their post?
Well, then I wouldn't give it to them.
Okay. So you just kind of know who's going to do the posting and not.
Yeah, I'm pretty picky choosy on who I give what. And if I've got somebody that it's day 3 and they're Johnny on the spot and they're doing everything, they're going to be my key person that's getting my most important posts throughout the week.
Gotcha. And so are you doing any booking and recruiting posts yourself?
Yes. I flip-flop back and forth each day. So one recruiting, one hosting.
So if you're doing the recruiting post that day, does your host give a hosting post? And
Oh, I don't think I don't have that much brain power to get that organized. That sounds awesome. You should run with that, Kim.
Okay.
Sounds amazing.
Curious. And I had something for Karen and I can't remember what it was. What was the last thing you said, Karen? Because I had a question about it. Do you remember?
The thank you post. I think she said the thank you post. She sent
Yes. The thank you post, do you have them post just that one thank you and then have them comment and tag the people underneath, or are they posting that same, thank you this person, then a new post?
I have them have their own image and then I give them the words to say. So when they post it, it's going to automatically tag them. the person that ordered. So thank you so much, Susie Q, for your order. And then I always tell them that we can change your order at any time, let me know. So I just make sure that they tag their people who order.
So they will post more, they'll post for every order they get, not
Yes.
one post and then tag whoever ordered.
Right, every time somebody orders, because they get the email just like I do. So
Right.
that keeps them on top of their party more and more excited to see those sales start to grow.
Yes.
Yeah, good, Kim. Anything else, anyone? All right. Crystal. Lori's like, "Shh." Yeah.
It's amazing, guys. I'm not even kidding. And like I said, it's not Dash. I love Dash, but it's not Dash. Like, you're just taking all of the things that you're doing 4 or 5 different times and you're putting it in one. And so at night when you get in, I'll be honest, I started dreading getting in my parties every day because it was 4 and 5 parties, and that's going to take me 20 minutes each. And I don't want to really spend that much time. So this has also helped me become a better consultant because I'm happier to be in my parties. I'm answering a question 1 time versus the same one 4 times. And so the benefits highly outweigh any of those initial anxieties that you have just thinking about it. And like I said, it's very simple to implement. Just think, wherever I would have put Lori's the host, I now have 3 or 4 host names listed. Good to go.
So, Crystal, have you seen your recruiting affected, increase? I mean,
well, I mean, to be honest, that's my personal setback, that I have not been as on top of my game as I should. So I can't speak to the parties being a yay or nay. That's a Crystal issue.
Okay. Okay. All right. I think Heather.
Yeah, how many days are you running the parties for?
It starts Monday morning and runs through Sunday night.
Okay. Beverly?
Yeah, quick question. Have your sales pretty much stayed the same, or do you notice a difference?
My sales have increased. So I still have parties that don't make. I had one last week that is sitting at 0, and I have one that's sitting at 150. But then I have over a $570, $1,000, $1,100 party, and there's a 400 party as well. So I've been very happy with the results coming through, and it just makes me feel that I put in less effort and probably got similar results, if not better.
Great. All right. Thank you so much, Crystal. All right. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to move on. So now you see that we're going to be embracing our mindset of 4 parties a week, and we're going to be doing them as mega parties. So our life is going to be a little bit, yes, less hectic for sure. So with that said, obviously we're going to have more team members. And I know when we kind of changed to doing the every other week opportunity events, it was kind of like, do we have one this week or do we not have one this week? And when you're having virtual parties, you're like, do I put it in, the post in, do I not? So for that reason, and because we want to increase our recruiting and having a better recruiting culture moving forward, is we are going to do the opportunity events every week, okay? Now, thank you, Lori. So now here's what's going to be a little bit different about the opportunity events. First of all, I had a long conversation with Steve Trapolsky about, his opportunity and his growth. And, I said, well, tell me about your opportunity events. You do them every week. And he said, yes, I do. And I said, so, what do you do when you have all these people? Like, we have over 500 people. And he kind of cocked his head to the side and he's like, so you don't clear them out every week? And I'm like, no. So he said, so what happens is you have stagnant consultants because they assume that their people are in that opportunity event and they're going to get the information and they're going to just, when they're ready, they're going to join, okay? So moving forward, this will not happen this week, so everybody take a deep breath. But next, after this week's opportunity event, we will clear out everyone. Every single person, me, Cindy, Crystal, Jenny, Beverly, Amy, everyone will go out of the group, okay? So what this is encouraging our consultants is to pay attention, get themselves back in the group, and also to invite people to the group. One of the things that Steve said is, what do you need consultants in there for if they don't have people in there? You know, that's just muddying the waters. And we've seen some kind of crazy going on in the groups from time to time that consultants kind of feel like it's their forum to say whatever. So, so that will eliminate that. We are not going to start a new group because we want, hopefully, everyone that our consultants and we've reached out to our potentials, they all have that link. So we don't want the link to go away. It would be so easy for me to just start a new group, but I'm not going to do that. I want them to have that link in case they do want to come back on their own. Okay, so that's the first thing that will happen. The second thing that will happen is that every Thursday morning, I will put the survey results in the McDonald Director page. Sorry guys, it is not the best use of my time to try to figure out who belongs to who and who needs to reach out to who. And Cindy and Chris and I, we play a guessing game. Who do you think they belong to? And we call ourselves on. Crystal just called herself out. We need to be strategic about our time also. We can't develop you guys into better leaders if we keep holding your hand every step of the way, okay? So it will be up to you to mark something on your calendar that says, don't forget to check the McDonald Director page for the survey results. And then we'll ask you to just pass on that information. And it's a great opportunity if you have recruiters. That's your opportunity to do a three-way call with them and their recruit because you know what's happening. You are totally engaged in that, okay? All right, so any questions on that? Susan Pham is doing the opportunity event this evening. She is all set with that. So again, there will not be any changes until next week. And I will put a little reminder in the director page. Don't forget, add yourself back and also, you know, invite your potentials. Okay, Lori?
Right, so we do have to add ourselves back to that group every week.
And you will have to add yourself every week because I don't have time to go through and go, does she have Pampered Chef in her you know, profile? It just gets so good. I think it's a good thing. It holds us accountable. Okay. All right. So you go ahead, Crystal.
There's a question in the chat from Jennifer Whitehead. She wanted to know, can we either start a fresh Google form each week or clear the old leads out?
There's already a new one that is going out this week.
Perfect.
So, yeah. Thank you. Thanks for that. I can't see my chat box there. So, okay. So ready to move on with that. Okay. So now that we are going to be onboarding lots of new consultants, we're going to, in fact, I said we are upping our 600 to 700. So that means we are going to want to add 31 new team members each month. Okay. So 31, that's the magic number for October, November, and December. All right. So lots of new people. Now you may not be aware that we do offer a new consultant onboarding call, a Get the More call on Sunday nights. We got to get all of our moving pieces in on Sunday nights. So if you would like to invite your consultants, Cindy Sparling did a fabulous job of upping the Get the More PowerPoint. It's either Cindy, myself, Amy Gibson, or Jamie Swanson that do those calls. So we alternate. So if you would like, I'll be happy to put the Zoom information. Wait, we all do our own Zoom line, right guys? Yes. So we'll have to post that weekly in the director page if you have people that want to join that. Okay. But with that said, Cindy Sparling had the opportunity to sit down with the none other than fabulous Marna Ross, who is always entertaining as well as full of great tips and ideas. So Marna shared her onboarding for phone call onboarding for virtual consultants. I'm going to turn it over to Cindy so she can share some of that information with you.
Okay, thanks, Donna. Yes, and it was quite an interesting experience I had with Marna. So it was worth my whole trip to executive seminar that night before that I got to spend with Marna. And I'm going to tell you, these teams that are rapidly growing and promoting leaders rapidly, it's all about how they're bringing in those new consultants. They're recruiting and they're onboarding them differently and much, really what I would call faster than what we have done in the past. So I want to reemphasize one of my big takeaways is setting that expectation for every new consultant that they're going to start their launch party within 24 hours. That's the one thing they're doing. That launch party happens as soon as they sign up. So if they sign up on a Friday, we're not waiting until the following Friday to start that launch party. We're starting it Saturday morning, or you're throwing them into whatever group you have going, but that launch party happens immediately. And then you are setting the expectation with those new consultants that they're going to schedule 4 shows for the next week, 4 virtual parties. And for some of us, we kind of did the little swallow, but let's face it, Cami Cruz is running 15 virtual parties a week. For them to go out and set up 4 virtual parties for the next week is really not a big deal unless we make them think it's a big deal. I mean, we've got to set that expectation, 4 parties a week, every week, their first month in the business, okay? And I have done that personally. I have 2 people that signed up over the weekend. We started their launch party the next day. I'm running it for them. Okay, you can throw them into whatever mega group you have going or whatever you need to do to get them going quickly. That's your choice. But they are so excited because they haven't had chance to get cold feet. They haven't gone into that hesitation mode. Their mission after my first call with them is to have 4 virtual parties lined up for next week and every week. And I explained why. So I just kind of wanted to reemphasize that since we're talking about it, because that's what these people are doing. And we've kind of, I feel like, been missing the boat with that. Okay, we've been way too slow at getting them started. So this second part of onboarding them successfully is to teach them how to do a good, successful virtual party. And this is where I sat down with a glass of wine in our jammies, and Marna said, open your laptop, let me see your current party. And she ripped it apart. And I thought I was doing a pretty darn good job. Okay, but she made me realize this party was dead in the water. People were not interacting. There weren't near enough people in the party. The posts stunk. I mean, they were very informative, very scripted posts like what they give us in marketing imagery. And she said, Cindy, read that to me. It was a food topper post. Read this to me. And it was, she said, would you say that at a live party? It was like, no. You'd say, oh my gosh, if you don't have this superhero, this is the one thing you have to get. You've got to get the food chopper. Who has it? What do you use it for? I mean, you know, she said, be yourself in these virtual parties. So, you know, it made me think, not only do I need to totally revamp what's coming across in my posts, and I need to make them a lot more engaging, but if we're not even doing it the way we should be doing it, are we teaching the new consultants to do that? Okay, because what I've experienced a lot, I know with me personally and seeing within our organization, is these new consultants are really struggling with their virtual parties. They'll do some parties that don't make, or they'll run a party that doesn't get any orders, or they can't get the host engaged, or whatever, and they give up before they've ever started because they didn't have a good experience out of the gate. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay, so let me tell you what Marna's doing, and she was very gracious to share all this with me, and she did ask me to keep it kind of quiet and under wraps because she doesn't want it to get all over Pampered Chef that she's not following the home office protocol or whatever, but I certainly think we can take this and enhance what the home office is giving us. So it is a 4-call series that she does, and these calls can be 30 to 45 minutes. These are not like a half a day or anything like that, but it's all about virtual parties. And in addition to the 4 calls, she sets up a Facebook group that the new consultants are put in, so she can post the replays, she can post more pictures, and she can just kind of engage with the new consultants in that Facebook group as well. So I'm going to give you a quick kind of overview of the calls, but I'm not going to go through every every little detail, and I don't even have all the details yet. I'm still compiling that because I'm listening to all of her replays. But anyway, the first call is really virtual party basics. It's going to cover the expectation of the 4 parties a week and why, how to book Facebook parties and giving them words to use, how to create their business page and set up groups underneath that with a screen share. And talking about how to make it personal, how to be authentic and to sound real and engage with your audience in your posts. And after listening to Crystal, I just added a little bullet point to my notes here that I guess we need to be teaching them how to do a mega party. Because if we're going to ask them to run those 4 or more parties, we certainly need to make it easy. So we just need to teach them, I think, that concept from the get-go. And then call number 2 is all about interaction in the party, how to make their posts more engaging, how to ask questions to drive conversations in their posts. You know, one thing that Marna shared that I've never heard before is that Facebook doesn't count it as a comment unless it has 5 words or more. So all these A, B, C, D, or which apron would you choose, hobby, full-time, part-time, those don't really count in the algorithms for Facebook as an official comment. So we've got to learn how to get people to answer the comments with words, several words, hopefully 5 or more, and that'll really up the number of views. So that was news to me. How to create the message chats that Crystal just mentioned within the comments by clicking on that message link there and engaging with the guests outside of the parties. The other thing that they're doing, which is pretty cool, and I did it this weekend, and I have one party that got 5 orders by midnight last night, was they're offering some kind of a contest for 5 orders by the start of the party or by the end of the first day, whatever you want to make it. I did it by the end of the first day. And I had several orders come in, but one party did get 5 orders. So that was pretty cool because when you like to see those parties start with $200 in orders. So anyway, covering all of that and changing up the banner and why that's important. So all that's kind of on call number 2. Call number 3 is all about host coaching your virtual party host, how to coach them. And Crystal went through a good bit of that in the mega party, but you know, setting up that message group and giving them the daily posts to put in and giving them the thank you pictures and the thank you posts like Karen explained. It goes into getting bookings from your parties and examples of commenting, like showing them examples where you literally talked to some of the guests and got bookings, and how you talk to your host about getting bookings, and issuing that host type challenge. And then she goes into a little bit of recruiting your host also on that call. And then call number 4 is kind of a wrap-up call, really. She goes through Canva. She does a screen share showing them how to create images in Canva. She talks about Fast Track to Director, kind of reemphasizes the Fast Track to Director program. And she does kind of a miscellaneous wrap-up of the 4 parties a week and just kind of Q&A and that sort of thing. So that is her 4-call system. She does 1 call a week for 4 weeks. So our thought process would be, because Crystal, Donna, and I all talked about this at executive seminar, and we thought, oh my gosh, we have got to implement this. We have got to teach our new consultants how to do a good virtual party so they are successful. And I'm excited because I think we have a ton to work with. So, you know, our thoughts are we'd have call number 1 the first Saturday morning of the month, call number 2 the second Saturday, 3 and 4. So there'd be 4 calls a month, and every month there'd be a new Facebook group that we'd have our new consultants coming into, and they could participate in those calls. If they come in the week of call number 2, the replay is there of call 1, that they can go back and listen to that, you know, but just to really work on engaging them. So I think Donna, if you don't have any questions, I think Donna's going to talk a little more about trying to implement this.
So, so what our plan is that we're going to come up with a concrete outline that people will be able to train from. Now, obviously, we have the same 24 hours that each and every one of you do. So in order for us to execute this, we're going to need you on board to volunteer to take a Saturday morning. So we're not asking you to come up with the outline. We're going to do that. And I know that we are going to be reaching out to those of you that have a totally virtual business to make sure that we are on the correct path and to make sure that we haven't missed anything that you feel is vital to a new consultant getting started. But we're going to put a poll out there, and we're going to put the dates out, and we're going to ask you to sign up for the dates. It's the same thing like with the opportunity event. Guys, our team leaders are able to facilitate an opportunity event. The opportunity events moving forward, you're not going to have to go live anymore. Crystal, Cindy, and I are going to do a recorded welcome. All they're going to need to do is just get in there and comment. So we really want to work closer together to initiate more people coming on board, getting those team leaders into the opportunity event facilitating, and then asking you to take your time and also help us to train on the new consultant calls. You know, it's just, Marta's, it's loosey-goosey. She screen shares. She's like, here you go. I mean, you guys know Marta. If Marta, you know, there's no rhyme or reason to half of the things that she does, and she's totally flipped her business to virtual. Mm-hmm. So it's really an exciting time right now. Kim, you have a question?
I do. I'm just curious do you feel like these need to be live calls to be able to answer questions? Like, you don't think this is something we can record and, okay.
I think that they need the connection, Kim. Believe me, that would be the perfect world for us to just do a recording and do it. But, you know, then there could, you know, if they're having a technical challenge, probably if one of them's having it, 4 of them are having it. So it really gives us that opportunity. So.
Okay. Yeah, and I will add to that, Kim, that we have tried in our organization doing pre-recorded trainings and giving it to them very systematically. It took my office helper a lot of time to every week send the next training out, and they weren't watching them. They just were not watching them. I think, you know, those that really want to be successful in the business, well, number one, our job as their sponsor and leader is to tell them, you don't want to miss this, to really remind them. And that's where you guys got to get your new consultants to get connected and get in there. But I think when we're teaching them how to properly do a virtual party, they're going to see the value in participating in those calls. And we will make replays available because we know not realistically, somebody's not going to be able to make all 4 Saturday mornings in a row. We know that.
So they'll be there. So Beverly, do you have your hand up?
Yeah, so my question is, are we as the recruiters not doing our individual calls with them then? Because I do 3 individual calls.
So Beverly, this is an opportunity for you. If those of you that feel like you have a great system, Beverly, you're the type of person that we're going to be tapping into and saying, okay, tell us what you're covering, you know, on your calls. And maybe there's, you know, a time where you've got, you know, your team is exploding. So I don't know how you're keeping up with everything. God bless you. So, you know, this is just another opportunity for you. Okay.
I was just trying to figure that. Okay.
This is only going to cover virtual party how-tos, pretty much. It's all about training them up. It's not to replace the calls through Dash or the fast track to a success program that's now in Dash. Those are the one-on-one calls that directors should be doing with their own new consultants. This is going to be an organizational effort to improve their virtual parties and do a better virtual party and get the
not coaching back
and stuff.
It's the fast. It's your coaching's got to come from this. You know, thank you to Lori Summers. I know that this was part 2 of all the work that they did. So if you haven't looked at the Fast Track Success System, it's the best coaching, and that's where your individual comes through. So, all right, I think someone else. Jenny, did you have your hand up? Okay, go ahead. You're on mute.
Okay, there you go. I typed out my question because I'm like, I'm going to forget it. Okay. So what happens if they don't want to be virtual? Like, what does she do when someone's like, do they go through the training anyways? And she's like, oh, just do this training. And does she make them do 4 parties virtual and start them with virtual? Like, what if someone hands up and they're like, I don't do Facebook or?
My understanding is that this is virtual training, okay, because there's so much in-home party training in Dash and you know that we already have available. But let's face it, I mean, think about I know in our organization, my guess would be that 80 to 85% of our new consultants coming in plan to be virtual or mostly virtual. They're starting virtual. They may then decide to add some in-home parties. So this is really not in-home party training. If they're never going to do a virtual party and that sort of thing, then I don't know that I would encourage them to do it. I would focus on the in-home parties if that's what they're going to do.
Right.
I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
You had said about getting them to do a virtual party like right away within 24 hours. What if they had a host kit credit and just came off their party?
Well, they could either do another one, because we all know we can invite the same people and get a different turnout each time, or they could have someone else be the host. Like one of the two I'm running this week, one of them is hosting her own, and she just had a party like 2 months ago, and the other one, we just closed her party Sunday night. So we closed her actual party and started her launch party the same day, and one of her guests who booked in her party is the launch party. Okay, so you've got some flexibility there.
Okay.
All right. Well, I don't mean to rush us, but we know we have some people that need to be on their executive bound call in just a few minutes. So one of the parting thoughts I want to leave you with is, I'm going to tell you, if you are not at upper level director right now, you want to be at upper level this fall. Okay. Because no one likes to be left on the train platform as the train's moving by. And let me tell you, Pampered Chef's train is going uphill quick. So, so work on that, ladies, and embrace the work that Cindy, Crystal, all of your upper level directors are doing. We are here to, help you in every way possible. So thank you so much for taking an hour of your time. Crystal, Cindy, thank you for sharing. And hopefully we'll see lots of you on the opportunity event this evening. All right, take care, everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye, all.